Okay, I'm Mark, and I'm the father of the house.
My name's Claire, and I'm the mother of 2 teenagers who live in the house.
I'm Asher, and I'm the youngest in the family.
I'm Ethan, I'm the older brother in the family.
We have conflicts over the guinea pig, because it's not my guinea pig, it's the kids, and it's usually when I'm reminding them to feed it or to clean it out, and Ash will say, oh, it's Ethan's turn, and Ethan will say, no, it's Ash's turn, and then I end up getting involved in this argument with them when I'm not really interested in the guinea pig, but so yeah, it does lead to a bit of conflict and me nagging them.
Well, lots of things, but one of the things that drives me a bit mad is when I'm constantly tidying up. That causes quite a lot of conflict.
What usually causes conflict in the family is how much time we spend on screens and sharing it out between us. It's usually with my brother Ethan, who wants to be playing on his game console, and I want to be watching TV.
I get in trouble for leaving lights on a lot, especially my dad. If I leave them on, he loses it and just shouts at me.
Often the main thing that tends to happen is I'll suddenly say, right, if one of you sorts it out, or I will give it away. I will put a sign out the front of the house saying, guinea pig, come and collect it, it's free. And that usually makes them jump around and do something about it.
The way that I try to resolve the conflict that arises around the mess that the children constantly make is really just to tell them over and over and over again until they do it, and eventually they do seem to do it. They're getting better, so although they're still hopeless at keeping their rooms tidy on a daily basis, they do now clear the table away after dinner and sort of put their shoes away, so they are getting better. It's just slow progress.
Usually we resolve it by a lot of shouting and arguing, but then in the end whoever was there first gets priority.
Well, I usually, to resolve it after getting shouted at by my dad, have to run around the house, turning all of the lights off that I've forgotten to turn off before.
Yeah, I think really that what we should do is agree a rota, and then write down exactly what the rules are, who's responsible for cleaning out the guinea pig on what day or what week, and who's responsible for feeding it on what day, and then maybe they could tick it off when they've done it, and then they could always just refer to that rather than just say whose turn it is. We can say, well, look at the rota.
I think probably the best way to resolve the conflict is for me to be a bit more patient, but to be consistent and just keep asking them the same things that they do tidy up, and for them to actually take some notice of what is being asked of them. And they are doing, because they're starting to tidy up after we've had a meal, clear their plates away, put their shoes away, and the next thing they need to do is to work on keeping their bedrooms a bit tidier.
In the future, to resolve it, we could have more of an organised schedule, like some days he takes priority of the screens and other days I get it.
I guess the way I could resolve it in the future would be just to remember it, really, and just so my dad didn't have to shout at me. Maybe put some stickers next to the lights or something like that, just to remind myself.
Yeah, some of my strengths with dealing with conflict is that I'm quite calm, quite patient. I'm not particularly passionate, so I don't lose my temper very easily. So I think that helps.
I think the way I am that does work well in conflict is that I'm generally quite consistent. So it's the same things that I go on about all the time. And I'm willing to compromise, because the children will come up with a decent argument as to why they shouldn't do something, and I do listen. But I suppose I do need to be a bit more patient.
In conflicts, the strength that I bring, I'm usually quite fair. I let the other person take priority, but then sometimes I think it's fair that I get priority.
Well, I suppose my strengths are that I'm quite easygoing. I don't really mind that much. I tend to compromise. Depends what it's about. You know, if I really want to do something, then I'll make sure I do it. But other than that, I'm generally up for whatever anyone else wants to do as well.
I think I would like to live with me. I'm quite easygoing and reasonably considerate, and happy to do my bit of cooking, bit of tidying up. So yeah, I think I'd like to live with me.
I don't suppose that I would actually be a great person to live with, because I am quite impatient and I do quite like things my own way. But I am reasonably good at tidying up and keeping things straight, so maybe that would make up for it.
Even though I'm quite fair, I wouldn't like to live with myself. This is because I'm not that helpful around the house and I'm quite messy.
Yeah, I think I wouldn't mind living with myself. I think I wouldn't be that bad. I don't think. I might take a bit too long in the shower, but other than that, I think I'd be all right.